Hello, Andrea Ross here from the Career Establishment. Welcome to Talent Tips Tuesday. Now, we recently conducted a webinar, and one topic that came up quite a lot was just managing time, particularly when people are working from home and there's really kind of not much of a sort of change from going into an office and working from home, so that it's become a little bit of a blur. And so what I thought would be a really good idea was something that I'm working with a lot of people on for my coachees, is to make their time more effective. And one way of doing that is really getting into the nitty-gritty of what their diary looks like. And so I'm just literally going to build a diary for the next 10 minutes or so it's it's not necessarily going to be perfectly constructed, but at the end of it will look wonderful. So for those that are new to recruitment or need a little bit of a refresher in terms of that whole kind of time management, being more efficient, I found really leading a very structured a structured approach to recruitment really works. You've really, you have your recruitment metrics, you have your goals, you have your, your goal set from your manager, or maybe you are the manager. It's a really good idea to just make sure that the entire week is planned out to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, every day is different people are calling you, you're reaching out to different people, and that will change. But in terms of what you achieve each day, and getting as many KPIs achieved by at least Wednesday, Thursday is kind of the aim. If you're trying to do most of your KPIs on Thursday, Friday, it can be a little bit of a problem because you might not be able to get hold of people might be taking time off, and also you're stretching out your recruitment cycle. You really want to try and get as many CVs out the door, contact as many people as possible by midweek, because then you can be on Thursday and Friday asking clients to interview those candidates. So it's really just about structure. So obviously it really does depend on your start times. As a recruiter, I'm an early bird, so I would be doing sort of 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. I would be reviewing emails and LinkedIn responses, and that would be sort of until 9, and I would make that a recurring all the way through, every single day. So I would do that daily. And what you can do, you can also color code it. I mean, again, it depends on how you want to do that. If for emails or for other kind of admin related tasks, you might find that you'd put them in a certain color and it was easier for you to look at that in your diary. Going into a little bit of detail on that with the LinkedIn responses, it might be people that are applying, but also are applying for roles or replying. But also in here is also to take note of, who has been reviewing my LinkedIn profiles. This is that people just don't normally look at. If you've got individuals that are looking at your profile and they're candidates or senior clients in your space, then it's a great opportunity to say, hey, just noticed you look at my profile, hope you're well, would you be keen to catch up? So again, it's just responding and getting things done in that diary, but specifically to this. So that's in there every single day. You might have an internal meeting. Generally, at the beginning of the week, you'll sit down with your manager. So you'll have a weekly meeting. So again, that should be in there. Now, it isn't just about turning up to that meeting. Either the weekend or the Friday before. So if I've got this down on the 4th of January, ignore that it's December, January, it doesn't matter, we know it's holiday period, but just ignore that. But if I was looking at the last Friday, which is the 31st, I might be putting down at 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock, which is obviously a few days before my weekly meeting, I might put in review my KPIs. And so that in the diary, and that again would be probably recurring weekly, because one thing that you don't want to be doing is entering into a meeting with your boss and having absolutely no idea what you achieved that week. So just by having that in the diary, then you can actually see whether you need to make up any KPIs, whether you're on track, all those kind of things. So that's really, really important. Okay, so let's get back to that day. What else? What do I want to be doing? Obviously, I'm a recruiter. I've got to either go out and get new business, or I'm digging deeper into my existing client base. Either one, or it could be both, and you're doing that simultaneously, doing that at different times. But I've got to prepare for those calls. It's not just about putting an hour BD. It's not going to cut it. You need an hour to prepare on who you're going to go out and call. Doing the preparation on that. So it might be for 30 minutes, it's preparation for BD. Now I would then be every single day, the week before, I would be bringing up names. I might get them from my database. I might be just plopping the names in there, and it will be, you know, contact names that are either new or they're existing. Maybe it's a client that I placed with a while ago, and a candidate I placed into this particular client. I haven't spoken to them before, and they've come up on my call list. So I want to be doing preparation BD for half an hour. I might extend that. And I've got that in the diary. And then from 10:30 until say 12, I'm doing BD calls. Yeah. And I might also be adding spec CVs. I might actually attach in here some candidates that I want to be talking to them about that are specifically for this client base. Yeah. And then I you know, I eat lunch. I'm human, right? So I'm going to put lunch in there. Now, if it's not COVID and we are meeting people, then I would have in there, you know, I would be diarising 3 times a week, lunch with a client, and I would be inviting clients every week, and I would have lunch with them. Again, as part of my building my network, it's building stronger relationships, and that would be diarised. It isn't just random. I will purposely be putting that in the diary. Let's just give ourselves some time to kind of some buffers in time, but I would also be doing, say, prep time 1 till 2. I might be in a position for the next month where I just have to do BD, but you know, I've just got no roles on, so I might be again doing prep, you know, preparation. Well, I might be doing more business development calls actually, and again I'd have my list, because this one I might extend that a little bit more and do more preparation so that I've got all the names already here. But also this preparation shouldn't just be done here. As I said before, the week before, you're constantly getting names. Every single day you're collecting names of new people. If you've met a candidate, who's their last boss? Who have they just had an interview with for another recruiter? All those things create names, and those names then go and plop into this part of your diary so that when you do get it on that day, you are all ready to do your BD. Okay, I am just going to skip ahead a little bit, just what I think of it. Now, sometimes it's easy to get hold of candidates from 5 onwards, yeah, so maybe 5 till 7. So from 5 till 7 o'clock, as a recurring, I'm going to be doing what I call my candidate callbacks. Candidate callbacks. Now, what are they? These can be a list of placed candidates in the last year that I'm just checking in with them and seeing how they are, seeing that they're still happy. Maybe they'll give me a referral. I'm also speaking to candidates that I'm representing at the moment. Yeah. So that they're in my callbacks. It might have been that they're interviewing at the moment, but I've put them on a callback for a week's time. So they're in that part of the diary. It also could be candidates on my database that I've registered that I haven't spoken to in 90 days. Yeah. So again, you know, it's not just a hi, it's you're tracking their career, you're finding out if they've had interviews recently, you're seeing it, you know, what their companies are doing, you're collecting information, and hopefully that will give you names that will help you with your BD efforts, will help you with spec CVs. And also, you could also in this session do qualifying candidates. You might have had a candidate that emailed you that might be good for your job, and you might be doing qualifying for 10 to 15 minutes of this call to this candidate here. And I'll do that as recurring every single day. I might not want to do it on Friday, but so I'd color code that definitely, because that looks all green and horrible. Maybe I'll do that as red. No idea how to make that red. Someone will tell me. Okay, so 5 o'clock candidate callbacks. They are in every single day now. Yeah. And so what's missing? I'm calling clients. I'm maybe specking CVs out. What I want to be probably doing here from say 2 till 4 is if I've picked up some roles, and because I've done some BD and picking up roles, I would be doing sourcing. And I will actually put sourcing for, and I'll put the job order there so I don't get confused on it. But I'll probably still have that as recurring every single day actually. And then I would change the job order that I'm working on just so that it's in there. So I've got sourcing now every single day. Yeah, it's all in there. Beautiful, beautiful. But then I'm missing something here. I source them, I find the candidates. What do I, where's my writing up the candidate CV? So after I've screened the candidate over the phone, or I've got them in, because I can also put them in that diary as well, I want to be doing, candidate write-ups, CV write-ups. and sending them out. Now, when I'm sending them out, I could be speccing them to clients, or I'm sending them for specific roles. Yeah. Now that's made that recurring, make it daily. No idea how to change colors. Okay, so now, and you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, so we're going through emails, we're responding to people. I've got a weekly meeting with my boss. I've probably got a weekly meeting with my boss on Wednesday as well. He's probably checking in with me. I would also probably on a Wednesday, I know I'm doing it quite late here. It might be I'll do it in the morning as well, but I'm just gonna just getting in the habit of what should be in your diary is review KPIs for the week. And that's one thing that's really frustrating as a manager when you manage consultants is if the consultant has absolutely no idea where they're at midweek, you know, is look at where you're at, how many CVs you got out the door, what did you commit to your boss on? You said you're going to send 20 CVs out, you're only at 10, you're going to need to review your diary for Thursday, Friday to make up for the fact you haven't got enough CVs out the door. So you'd look at your Thursday, Friday and say, okay, then I'm probably going to have to really do less BD that on that day and really get my head down for candidate CVs out the door. Okay. So one thing that is sort of missing at the moment is I've got candidate callbacks where, as we mentioned before, I'm calling candidates that are placed, candidates I'm representing. We want to do that with clients as well. And what I mean by client callbacks are clients that we've had candidates interview before, clients that we have placed with before, clients that we didn't get the role on, they went with someone else. Yeah, that we may not have an active role on for them, but we want to continue to build a relationship. It's not a business development call because we know them, we've already spoken to them. I call them it's what I call kind of the client maintenance calls. And so we really want to have that in the diary. Do we want it in there every day? Probably not. And I might just put it on a Thursday, for instance, or Wednesday or a Thursday. I'm probably not going to do 5 till 7. Client's not going to particularly want to hear from me then. But I might put it I might put it in the morning, 9:30 till 10:30. Client callbacks. And there's a list of names that I will bring up. It was people that we've placed with, or we've had candidates interview with, but were not successful, or clients that we approached that they went with someone else, or a client that hasn't been spoken to in 90 days. It's tightening things up. There's a tendency for recruiters to keep going out to get new business, but then forget everybody that they've met that they could just work harder at keeping in contact with. I'm going to make that weekly, not daily, weekly. I'm going to make it recurring. Okay. So now we're starting to get a little bit more idea. I really wish I knew how to change those colours. I probably could work that out if I had time. I'm sure someone's going to call in and tell me that. So, because I hate looking at that and it's all green. To me, it just looks messy. But you would categorise that with different colours. So you knew BD throughout your whole week. So if I was looking at the whole week, for instance, I would then be able to see I've got emails that's in red. I've got preparation BD. So that preparation BD, I would actually want that recurring. I'd want that recurring daily. Yeah. You can see it now. You can see that there's some structure here. What I also love about seeing this is that everything I do leads to an outcome. Every time I prepare for a BD call, I make the BD call. If I pick up a role, I've got it in my diary to do sourcing for that role. When I found the candidate, I have time in my diary to write up the CV and send them out. Only things I haven't put in there, which you'll notice, I'm sure, are things like putting the job on a website. So it might well be that I change this time, and this is good that we're talking through with this. So I might find that I'm going to call clients from 6 till 7:30. 7:30, it's so late. And I'm going to make that recurring. So it's not letting me do that recurring. I've got to go into every single one. So if I do that till 7:30, every single one, bear with me. So what I could be doing from 6 until, give you this example, till 7:30. I know it's in these times here. I actually just like to see it on there. Okay. Okay. Is it going to let me get out of it? No. Okay. So what was missing is if I pick up the role, so I spoke to a client, picked up the role, I'm sourcing for candidates. What I want to do is put it in the diary. I want to put in the diary. Sorry, when I picked up the role, I want to put it on the website. I want to put the job ad on LinkedIn. I might put it on some job boards, whatever I'm doing. I want that working for me when I'm sourcing for roles, sourcing for candidates. So what I might do here is I might well swap this and extend it a little bit and say candidate write-ups. So I might put job on LinkedIn and company website and candidate write-ups. Yeah, I might do, or I do two separate. But what it's doing, then I could do that as a recurring all the way through, because you've got a flow now, you've got output. As we know in the evening, these are our long-term collecting information, candidate referrals. We're getting all these from these maintenance calls. Same with the Wednesday, I think we put on Wednesday where we were calling client callbacks. Yeah, so I would take that out here because I can't do it at the same time, and that's something to be really, really mindful of. You know, don't be, you know, looking at Thursday, don't be thinking, oh yes, I can do that, and the other thing, no, you can't. You have to take this one out. So what ends up happening, I would probably have lunch 3 times in the week. It might be with a place candidate, it might be a place client, but I would have that in the week. You know, I have to eat, but I'm going to make sure that my working week is efficient. And I know that if I'm going to go out for dinner, I know it's going to be after 7:30, for instance. I'm not saying you have to work to these hours. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to show you that every single activity that you do in recruitment, calling clients, business development clients, calling existing clients, calling candidates that are new candidates from LinkedIn or who you've headhunted, getting them in for an interview. That's something we haven't put in is slotting times in. You will need to add a little bit of time throughout each day, and it might well be that you're not interviewing candidates on a Monday, that you're slotting a couple of hours in the mornings or afternoons or even evenings for candidate interviews. Because obviously that's our most important, that is the most important task, is talking to candidates that you can show them to your client. So everything in here is ensuring that you achieve everything, that you don't go, oh gosh, I didn't get round to doing that, time went. You should never get into that situation, because you're doing specific targeted activity that leads to you achieving your KPIs. And of course you wiggle it around, and different days or weeks will change, of course, but generally the tasks that we put in there are the ones that you want to make sure that are that you achieve, that are in their structure. So I hope that's helpful. I know it wasn't particularly the most aesthetically looking calendar that you've seen. I'm sure someone can put together something even more beautiful, but I really wanted to build out that diary for you so you could kind of get an idea of where I was coming from, and I really hope it was useful. So I hope that helped. If you want to know any more information or any other tips and hacks and stuff like that, just reach out on inquiries@thecareerestablishment.com. Over and out.